I want to have you hear one other person who I think will also bring great wisdom and who I have truly enjoyed getting to know. And to show sacrifice of this family, Smoke Wallin is the head of our alumni council. His new bride, Anitra, is sitting next to him. He decided that a great honeymoon, they got married last Saturday, so a great honeymoon would be to leave her in Las Vegas with the kids and have her drive across the country while he went to a conference in D.C. and then came here on a rock and roll aircraft yesterday to take part in an all-day alumni event. And lo and behold, she showed up this morning. So I'm so delighted to welcome Smoke and Anitra. Smoke, if you come talk to us.
What kind of friend drops everything, leaves school for a week to go down to a war-torn land ravaged by a hurricane to salvage 3 family homes in the rubble from Hurricane Andrew? What kind of friend leaves a high-paying, fast-track corporate job on a success track to join an unproven, uncapitalized startup? What kind of friend runs into you into the lobby at the Westin Hotel in Chicago and whisks you through security to meet and have breakfast with Chairman Greenspan? Am I talking about the friends I met at my fine alma mater, Cornell University? No. I'm talking about the friends that I met here at Vanderbilt while I attended the Owen School. My name is Smoke Wallin, and I'm happy to share a little of my Vanderbilt experiences with you today. And I'm going to direct most of my remarks to the admitted students who are stuck out there in the sunny back, I think, and why I really believe in this university and this school, and I think you're making a great decision being here today. Choosing a life of continuous learning has positive consequences. Choosing to attend business school will change your life. And choosing to attend Owen at Vanderbilt will certainly have positive consequences. The mere fact that you sit here before us today, admitted, tells me you already started and already have an early commitment to a life of continuous learning. However, a life of learning is not for the meek or the lazy. A life of learning is for those who aspire to lift themselves and others to a higher place. A life of learning is consequential to you as an individual, to your family or your future family, to your community, to your nation, and yes, to mankind. Choosing to attend business school has consequences because business school is the training ground for future leaders. Capitalism and the free enterprise system is the engine that drives the world forward, and captains of industry, whether they be entrepreneurs that start Apple Computer or Jimmy John sandwiches, or whether they're leaders who work in established companies and rise up through the ranks, doesn't matter. They will all make a significant difference. The tragic consequences of a lack of capitalism and free enterprise are only clearly evident, more evident to me today than ever before. One needs only look at what goes on in the Middle East and the lack of opportunity and economic enterprise to what we have. Indeed, economic opportunity is the only real solution. Business schools give the tool set and, importantly, the time to think to future leaders. You need to use that time. We don't always remember to do that. Business schools inspire future leaders to somehow create a better world. I see future leaders here today sitting before me who will play a role in shaping this world. Yes, choosing to attend business school has consequences. But today I'm here to tell you that choosing to attend Owen at Vanderbilt has consequences too. At Owen, nobody is here to get the credit. Ronald Reagan once said, "There is no limit to what a man can do or where he can go if he doesn't mind who gets the credit." At Owen, nobody's looking to get the credit. Vanderbilt tends to bring out the best in all of us. This is a place of teams, and teamwork, of comrades and camaraderie, and fellows and fellowship. Make no mistake about it, this is no place for the lazy or the meek. It is a place, however, for those who truly want to learn. It is a place for those who want to make an impact. And it is a place for those who want lifelong friends. In my career, I've had the opportunity to start 7 companies, acquire 19 companies, grow a business from $150 million to over $1 billion, sell $100 million of businesses, lead a trade association in Washington, open up offices around the world, raise hundreds of millions of dollars of capital in private and public equity and debt. Some of these experiences were exhilarating, some of them were joyous, and some of them were quite trying. As employees, board members, investors, through it all, Vanderbilt people have been a part of it. Sounds pretty cool, doesn't it? Well, I can tell you there were many difficult times along that journey, and I'd like to share a couple of those with you today. In March of 2000, my startup company, eSky, had received a $100 million commitment from SoftBank. At the time, if you can take yourself back, SoftBank was kind of the greatest venture capitalists on earth. We were going to complete our Series B at the end of April. We were doing our due diligence, and I called up the partner and said, okay, we're ready to close. You're finished with due diligence. And he said, well, Smoke, sorry. I'm like, sorry? What do you mean, sorry? He said, well, the stock market's crashed. The NASDAQ has gone down this month, and frankly, we see more opportunities in NASDAQ buying public entities than backing startups. And I was a little stunned and a little concerned because we had about 4 weeks of cash left at that time, and $100 million would have come in really handy. After extensively traveling the country, convincing venture capitalists that this was the idea that they needed to back, regardless of what the stock market was doing, that the liquor industry was going to be around for another 1,000 years, that it needed what we were bringing to the table in terms of technology, and that we had the right people, the right team, and the right approach, we cobbled together a group of VCs for $48.5 million. And the day before closing, I received a call from one of the VCs with a new term sheet. Looked it over, talked to our team, discussed the implications of this, and it was a real moment of, I think, test of character and test of what you want to be in the world. Because at that moment, they had our term sheet. We had agreed on it weeks ago. We were supposed to close. They were just taking advantage of the situation. And I decided it wasn't worth it. And I called them back. I said, we're not going to do it. We're not going to accept this. And they said, okay, we're out. I hung up the phone, left the office, went home, got a glass of wine and a cigar, not a celebratory cigar, and sat there contemplating the end of this cool run that we had. I thought about the 50 employees that we had and how we were going to pay them. I thought about my friends and family members and the investors that had put up the original capital and would lose it all. And I thought about, this was my baby, this was my internet baby, and it was going to go away. About 8 o'clock that night, my cell phone rang, and it was that venture capitalist. And he said, we're in. I said, you're in under the terms and conditions originally contemplated? He said, yes. I said, welcome aboard, partner. eSky was the last B2B internet exchange to be funded in the world. I know you were wondering who that guy was. Standing right here. A year later, the VCs litigated. They wanted their money back, but we're not about to give up. And the quote that was said earlier, when you're in hell, keep on moving, applied absolutely. After a year of fighting, we bought them all out at a substantial discount and went on to build a business which last year I sold to a public company. Through it all, Vanderbilt people have been a part of it. There are other tough experiences, And only last year, I started a new venture called Taliera, and we filed to do a $60 million IPO in the form of a SPAC. For those of you that don't know, a SPAC is a special purpose acquisition corporation. You raise capital, it's in a blind pool, and you go buy other companies. Sounded cool to me. After a fairly successful roadshow, we were on the road, and we had $31 million of orders, and that was the first moment in March of 2007 when the market started to wobble, and we ran into some resistance, and in that moment we decided to pull the offering. So we had a failed IPO. A week later, my largest partner in both eSky and Taliera, Skeeter Johnston, a Coca-Cola Enterprises board member, was killed in a freak polo accident. I lost a dear friend, I lost a mentor, I lost a dear partner, a business partner, and we spent most of the last year negotiating with an estate and a bank and lawyers to deal with the consequences of a failed IPO. And he was really my largest funder of both companies. I don't mind sharing with you that last year was my most difficult time in my business career. I've never experienced the kind of stress of losing a close friend and business partner, having two businesses at the brink of failure, and feeling powerless to fix them all, feeling powerless to fix my problems. We were able to buy out the estate in January with my partners, and we moved on to acquire our first brand, Red Eye Bloody Mary Mix from Texas, and let me tell you, it is the best Bloody Mary mix. Thick and spicy, it's awesome. Red Eye. Through it all, Vanderbilt people have been a part of it. Through it all, Vanderbilt people have been my friends. As you contemplate your next move, consider this. The friends you meet, the professors, classmates, advisors, and alum, will be with you the rest of your lives. What you put in your time here, you'll receive back many times over. What you put in your time here at this place, you'll receive back many times. I know I have. I don't wish my tough times on you, and as business leaders, you'll have plenty of them for yourselves. What I do wish for you is to have a learning experience with wonderful consequences. I wish for you a learning experience where you meet people who will become your buddies, your partners, your friends, and climb mountains for each other. And most of all, I wish for you to live a life that has a positive consequences because you choose to come to Vanderbilt. Thank you.